Praise the Lord, I thank Lord for a wonderful opportunity for me. Myself, I'm Loyola Matthew, studying Loyola Hyderabad, first year BBA. So I thank ICPF to giving this such a nice opportunity that I may share my insight to you all. So the insight what I want to say is the portion where we can understand the humbleness of Jesus Christ. That is in John 13 chapter, we can see that Jesus cleansed the disciples' feet. So that's the Passover, that's the final Passover of Jesus Christ, and disciples were not so conscious that this is the last Passover of their master. But Jesus was fully controlled and fully knowing that is the last. He says about the Lord's Supper. But I want to not say anything about that. But I want to say something else from that point. That's in John 13 verse 2, and the Passover when it was completed, the Passover has come to an end. We can understand that even after the Passover has come to an end, the disciples, the 12 of them, did not had a want to clean the legs of their co-workers. Not if you forget about disciples, their co-workers, not even their master's leg they wanted to clean. So what I have understood from my small understanding, my small brain, is if we see in Matthew 18 verse 1 to 4, we can see that asked Jesus that who is great among themselves, and then Jesus gives a nice explanation that whoever becomes like a child will be the greatest in heaven. But if you see in other gospels like Mark and Luke, Mark 9 chapter and Luke 9 chapter 47 and 46, you can see that there is an argument itself between the disciples who is great among themselves. That was like a great issue between them. And even if you see in the portion where Jesus and nothing but John's and James' mother comes and asks Jesus, can you make John on my left and James on my right? So Jesus says excellent answer, but we can see that disciples were like sad and like a kind of angriness was with them when they were like making John or James greater. So they had a great issue of knowing who is great among themselves. But when the Holy Spirit came, everything was changed. That's another matter. But understand that when these disciples were thinking that I am great among themselves, I am the person who will become the great, because they had a mentality like Jesus was a Messiah who will be a king, who will be real. That's real, but they were in the physical form of thinking that he's a king, I'll get an authority, I will rule of this thing. That was in that complete mindset. Never, they really didn't know that they are going for dying for Christ. Their goal is that they never thought. But the disciples were like, I'll be the greatest. That was the desire. So what I want to say is, when we think that we are great, we will not able to see or will not able to do the lower things of clean legs. If you see the history of that, the roads of they will be completely sandy and muddy, and the legs of the disciples and legs of Jesus will be completely dirty. So it was like tradition, but it's not a tradition, it's also cleanliness, because the legs are completely dirty. So the laborers, there were hired laborers in that time to clean the legs of the people, of the guest who comes to the house. So they will be a Gentiles, or they will be the lowest peoples in the Jewish community. So let us have the humbleness of Jesus Christ. Like in Philippians 2 verse 8, it says how humble was Jesus, that he even humbled himself to the death of cross. So that's the reason why Jesus took out his outer garments and cleansed the disciples' leg, to show them that you should follow this and do to your other people, that others may know that you are disciples of mine. So Jesus shows humbleness. So we should have the vision of to humble ourselves, even how great we go, how much extent we are. Like whatever we do, we'll never become great as Jesus. So in that way, when that great person, like our Savior, is showing that humbleness, then what's problem in us to show the humbleness? So let's have the humbleness of Jesus. So let's spirit, let's guide, let's make ourselves perfect, that we may become humbleness to the society, that they may know that we are the followers of Christ. So I want to conclude my sharing my insight here from 1 Peter 5 verse 5. We can see that the humbleness what Peter says, that God resists proud and gives grace to those who are humble. And also in the same verse it says that we should clothe humbleness. So let's ourselves clothe humbleness and show to the world that who we are. We are the disciples of Jesus, who died for us and who is going to come for us and take us as a bride for him. Thank you. Let this message be helpful for you.